Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jai Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Shri Gaurnitai ki Jai, Shri Radha Gopinath ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Om Jnanatimrandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vacharam pangam langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam. Jai Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So we all meet again. So today we will be discussing about the May 28th conversation. To give a little background, this in the in our understanding of the Diksha system, the system of initiations, the May 28th conversation holds a very, very important position. Because on July 9th, 1977 is when Srila Prabhupada issued a directive, a direct order about how initiations should be conducted in ISKCON. And in that, at the very beginning of the letter, which was addressed to all the temple presidents and GBCs, which means it is an institutional directive. It is not meant for some individual or writing to some individual or things like that. It is meant for the entire organization. So in that, in the beginning, Tamal Krishna Maharaj, who wrote that letter, and it is approved by Prabhupada, because Tamal Krishna Maharaj was Prabhupada's secretary. So on Prabhupada's order, he typed out that letter and sent it to all the temple presidents and GBCs. So in that letter, in the beginning, it says, recently, when all of the GBC members were with His Divine Grace, he mentioned that he would appoint some of the people as Ritvik representative of the Acharya. So that is actually referring to the May 28th meeting of the GBC with Srila Prabhupada. So therefore, because the July 9th order is coming out of the May 28th meeting, discussion between the GBC members and Prabhupada, therefore it holds special significance. So about the May 28th meeting itself, let us look at a little bit of background before we go to this. Actually, in May, actually, Prabhupada's health was declining. And by 1977, Prabhupada's health had started declining. By May, it was pretty bad. So on May 7th, the devotees took Prabhupada from Delhi to Rishikesh. They thought that Rishikesh in Uttarakhand is a good place, salubrious weather, the banks of the Ganga, the mountains. Prabhupada will be able to recover his health better. So they took him by train from Delhi to Rishikesh. There they had rented a place, a flat or house or whatever on the banks of the Ganga, and they put up Prabhupada there. Prabhupada was given different kinds of medicines and diet and all those things devotees were taking care. So about a week later, on May 14th, until then devotees were requesting Prabhupada to, there were all kinds of conversations happening. Devotees were saying, were asking Prabhupada, you should continue to stay with us. We are still very young in Krishna consciousness. You have to continue to guide us and things like that. So on May 14th, evening, in the night, there was a thunderstorm. And there was thunder, lightning, the power was cut off, and winds were lashing, the rain was pouring down. So it was quite a terrible night, and the devotees were all quite shaken up. May 15th morning, early morning, Prabhupada said, Prabhupada called the devotees and told them that make my will, drop my will, I want to make my will. So generally we think of making a will when we are in the old age, in the last stages, right? So that's an indication what Prabhupada was thinking. The very next day, May 16th, again Prabhupada called the devotees and told them, if I die, better it is in Vrindavan, take me to Vrindavan. So it became all the more clear, isn't it? So then devotees started making arrangements, and they got a car, and then took Prabhupada by car from Rishikesh to, they managed to reach Delhi by evening. So they stayed overnight in Delhi. May 17th morning, they took Prabhupada again by car from Delhi to Vrindavan. So they reached Vrindavan on May 17th. And if you all have visited Vrindavan, if you have visited the Krishna Balaram temple, in the guest house, that Prabhupada's room is there, they put up Prabhupada there. 5 days later, May 22nd, Prabhupada told his devotees, better to prepare for the worst. Call all the GBCs to Vrindavan. Whatever questions they want to ask me about the future, let them ask. So you can see how it has been building up. So finally on May 22nd, Prabhupada said, better to prepare for the worst, call all the GBCs. So at that time, in 1977, there were 23 GBCs in ISKCON. Originally, Prabhupada founded the GBC in 1970 through the direction of management. In the first GBC, GBC that was formed, there were 12 devotees. By 1977, it had grown into 23. There were 23 GBCs. So May 22nd, as soon as Prabhupada said this, they were all informed, and some of the GBCs were already in Vrindavan, others were in different parts of the world. So whoever was not in Vrindavan, they all came down to Vrindavan. And 18 out of the 23 GBCs assembled in Vrindavan on May 28th. Other 5 could not come for whatever reason. Maybe they could not get tickets, or they could not come because of some other reason, whatever. Only 18 out of the 23 were able to assemble. So the 18 members of the GBC, they got together on May 28th, and they discussed what is it that we want to ask Prabhupada about the future. Because Prabhupada has said, better to prepare for the worst, meaning Prabhupada is going to leave the world. So how do we do? What do we do? What are the questions we have to ask Prabhupada? So they discussed internally, the 18 GBCs, and they drew up 5 questions to ask Prabhupada. 5 questions. What were the questions? Question number 1. This, what you are seeing on the right side, is a scanned copy of the handwritten minutes, because those days computers, laptops, these things were not there. So the minutes were all recorded by hand. So this is a copy of the original minutes of the GBC. So the 5 questions for Prabhupada. Number 1. So they have resolved that the following questions will be taken to Srila Prabhupada for his answers. They will be presented by a committee of Tamal Krishna Goswami, Satsaru Goswami, Jagadisha, Rupanuga, Bhagavan, Kirtanananda Swami, Balimardan. So that comes to about 7 of the GBC members. They said this committee will take these 5 questions to Prabhupada and bring back the answers. So question number 1, how long should GBC members remain in office? Why is this question coming up? Because when 1970, when Prabhupada formed the GBC, Prabhupada had made a system of elections. Every 3 years, elections were supposed to happen. And every 3 years, 2/3 of the members would step down, and the TP members would all get together, and they would elect those balanced 2/3 members. This was the plan. So, but then in those 7 years, 1970 to 1977, there should have been 2 elections every 3 years, right? So 2 elections should have happened. But elections were never conducted in Prabhupada's presence. This is the practical reality. So either because the elections were not conducted, or 7 years since direction of management was made, devotees forgot, for whatever reason, they put up this question: how long should GBC members remain in office? As long as Prabhupada was there, he was personally telling who should step down, who should come on board. Like I said in the beginning, there were 12 members, it had increased to 23 by 1977. So they were all being appointed by Prabhupada, and some GBC members left. So how long GBC members should remain in office? This was their first question: whether election should happen, or there should be a fixed term, or in the future, what is going to happen when Prabhupada is not there? So this was the first question. Second question: how can GBC members who leave be replaced? So until then, what was happening? Whoever was leaving, Prabhupada was replacing. Prabhupada was saying, okay, he has left, so replace him with this devotee. Like that. Prabhupada was directly appointing. So this question becomes relevant. If Prabhupada is going to leave us, then after Prabhupada's time, how will GBC members be replaced? That's the context in which this question is cropping up. Third question: in the absence of Srila Prabhupada, what is the procedure for first, second, and sannyas initiations? So this is an important question with respect to the matter of initiations. Question number 4. What is the relationship of the person who gives this initiation to the person he gives it to? And question number 5. Is there any provision for publication of other translations of Vaishnava scriptures by the VBT after the disappearance of Srila Prabhupada? So all the questions are particularly for the time after Prabhupada has left this planet. Okay. So now, out of these questions, 5 questions, what we are interested in is in question 3 and 4. Question 3 is: in the absence of Srila Prabhupada, what is the procedure for first, second, and sannyas initiations? And question number 4: what is the relationship of the person who gives this initiation to the person who he gives it to? Okay. Understood, no? These are the 2 questions pertaining to initiations after Prabhupada's disappearance. Now, I hope audio will be there. It will work, okay. So what I will do is, I'll show you the transcript of that part of the conversation, May 28th conversation of the GBC meeting with Srila Prabhupada, the committee. And they put these 2 questions to Prabhupada. And what was Prabhupada's response? Let us see. So I'll play that portion of the audio.
Concerns initiations in the future. Particularly at that time, no longer with us. We want to know how a first and second initiation will be conducted.
Yeah, I want to remember.
There's one situation like of that person who reached initiation and but he does it on your behalf.
Then it's covered in it. Where we make relations with the Guru from my behalf, from my order. Amara Guru, the actual Guru, but by my order.
So they may also be considered your disciples.
Yes, they are disciples, but consider. Who?
No, he's asking that these Ritvik acharyas, they're officiating, giving diksha. They're the people who they give diksha to. Whose disciple are they?
They're his disciple. Who is it? He's their disciple.
Yes. Then we have a question is,
When I order the Guru, he becomes regular Guru. That's all. He becomes this disciple of my disciple. That's all.
So that's all, very short, not very long, right? Just hardly a minute or so. In that much time, the whole discussion about how the system of initiation has to go on in ISKCON was discussed and completed. So, okay. So now you all heard that part of the conversation. Now let's do one small activity. We will split up into two groups. Is that okay? All Matajis on one side, Prabhujis on another side. And the activity will be, I have two premises or two arguments. You have to discuss and counter this. Okay? You have to come back. I'll give you 15 minutes to discuss both the questions. You have to discuss and come back how to counter these arguments. So in this conversation, Prabhupada says, he is disciple of my disciple. And Prabhupada says, he is my grand disciple. So it is clear that Srila Prabhupada wanted his disciples to become regular gurus after his disappearance. Hence, the Ritvik system ordered on July 9th was only a temporary arrangement till Srila Prabhupada's disappearance. This is the first argument. Second argument is, Prabhupada says, because in my presence one should not become guru. So on my behalf, on my order, Amara Ajna Guru Haya. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself has ordered that everyone must become Guru, Amara Ajna Guru Haya. And in the presence of the Guru, one must not become Guru. That's the thing Prabhupada was talking about. Hence the Ritvik system was only temporary till Prabhupada disappeared. After that, all his disciples, they become regular Gurus. So these two arguments you have to discuss and come up with counter arguments. How do we counter these two arguments? Clear? On the basis of, what is the basis? Basis is this conversation, whatever we heard Prabhupada talking about. All right? So if you want, I will forward this, this file about the May 28th conversation, or you can access in Vedabase also. But if I forward this, it will be easier for you people to it will be easier for you people to discuss and then come back. Okay, let me just see. Whom should I send it to? Whom should I send it to? So that you can, okay. May 28. So in the meantime, you can rearrange yourself. So like arrange the chairs in a round way. You also can arrange. And within 15 minutes, you have to discuss. And you have to choose one person in your group who can come and present the summary conclusion of what you are arriving at to all of us. Okay? One person from the group has to come and this one. So where is that? May 28.
And there are two slides. Which one?
Both you have to discuss. You can note down the questions. Have you noted down this one? You can take a screenshot also, no problem. Okay, shall I go to the next one? This is the next one. All right, so I'll display the conversation also, and I'm sending it to you. Network is not all that great. Yeah. I've sent it to both of you. You can forward to the Matajis also. So it's 7:18 now. Till 7:35, we can all discuss and then come back. All right? Time starts now. Mataji has to start discussing amongst yourself. What are the points which you can bring up to counter this? The conversation, I'll display it for you. Here it is. Are you able to read? Sarvalakshan Prabhu, you have to forward the file to one of the Matajis. Forward. Group, you got it? Okay.
Hare nineteen.
On my order. You do not have to use the word Guru and their duties and what is the reason?
Half time over. You've got another 7.5 minutes left.
Maybe. That's a good argument. I sure.
Two more minutes left. You have to conclude. One more minute. Last minute, you have to start. You want more time? Do you want 5 more minutes? How about you? Okay, 5 more minutes. Granted. 2 more minutes left. You should start noting down your conclusions for both questions. Question 1 and question 2. Argument 1 and argument 2. One more minute left. Please start deciding on who is going to come and present your conclusive counter arguments. Haribol, 1 minute left. You have to start concluding. You have to conclude, summarize your group's answers to question 1 and 2, and choose who is going to come and present. Ready? Okay. Conclusion? Summarized the group's points. All of you first summarize. All ready? Matajis, ready? Ah, wonderful. Okay.
So they will be in favor of this?
No. Both of you have to present your counter arguments to this. So who will present from the mother? Please, Mataji. Yes, please. Both, yeah. 1 and 2, both you can mention.
So in May 28, 1977 conversation, Srila Prabhupada was directly asked who will initiate disciples after your departure, and he answered, when I order, then he becomes Guru. But the catching point here is that no such order was given, and instead Prabhupada said he would appoint officiating acharyas to initiate on his behalf. So not becoming initiating gurus. So this basically proves that Prabhupada did not automatically want them to become full gurus after he left, and if he did, he would have so said directly at that very moment, and he wouldn't have put a complete stop to the Ritwik system. And just weeks later, Srila Prabhupada issued the last formal instruction on initiation, and he appointed 11 Ritwik representatives to initiate on his behalf, even while he was still present. And what is important to note is that there's no document cancelling or stopping this system after his disappearance. That was issued by him. And he never wrote that after he will become full initiating guru. This was never a statement. And if Ritwik was temporary, there was obviously no instruction. And as per the
So if I'm correct, your answer to he is disciple of my disciple and he is grand disciple is that Prabhupada said this happens when I order, and that order never came. So therefore, automatically they cannot become guru. That's your response. Okay.
Somebody should answer from their side also. Then it will be more.
That argument only I presented. Okay, next one.
Second one, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said everyone must become a guru. For this, our response is that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Yare Deka Tareka Krishna Upadesha, which means whomever you meet, tell them about Krishna, and in this they become guru. This means that you have to, this is the way of becoming Siksha Guru, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never ordered to directly become Diksha Guru. And this is the way Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was encouraging to everyone to teach Krishna consciousness and not to initiate it. The verse, Amar Agara Guru Kare Jilla, means on my order become Guru in the day. And Srila Prabhupada said no one should become Guru in his presence, and this officially strengthens the Ritwik perspective, because this clearly means he said wait until I give an order and do it. He also never gave an order even after his disappearance. And in the May 28, 1977 conversation, he said, when I order, then he becomes Guru, that's all. And there's no record of such an order ever being given. Instead, we have the July 9th letter, which formalizes the Ritwik system and never said that it should stop after Shri.
So your response in summary is that this Amar Ajna order is the order to become a Shiksha Guru, not a Diksha Guru. Right? Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Good arguments. Now, Sarva Lakshan Prabhu will present the Prabhujis. Come.
They already stolen our arguments.
Yeah. Okay, please go ahead. Anything you want to add? Or 1 second. Yes.
So, ISKCON's argument is Prabhupada says is
ISKCON's argument, not your. Who's which ISKCON are you talking about? Our ISKCON or their ISKCON? Okay.
Guru ISKCON's their argument is Prabhupada is saying in this conversation that Ritwik, when I make somebody as an officiating acharya, and when he initiates, he is the disciple of my disciple and he is grand disciple.
After Prabhupada's disappearance.
But we see that in July 9th letter, Prabhupada made a formal letter and he makes some names. 11 names are there. But even if we consider this kind of a statement Prabhupada wanted to make, but where is that name list of names that they will become gurus? Those list of names are not there. So that means whatever letter we have where Prabhupada is specifically writing 11 people, they will become Ritwik acharyas. That order we have, but there is no order like this written.
So you're also saying basically that he is disciple of my disciple and he is grand disciple when I order. So without an order, they, you cannot become disciple of my disciple. They cannot become initiating gurus.
Even if we say, just because somebody is saying that just because Prabhupada said this order is this is the order. But even if we consider this is the order, then who will become guru?
Whom did he order?
Whom did he order?
That list is not there.
That list is not there. And we have 11 people who will act as officiating acharyas or Ritvik acharyas. And Prabhupada is also saying in the bill that these Ritvik acharyas can be appointed further. But there is no such direction for gurus. Who will become guru tomorrow?
That name list is not there.
That's person can say I become guru. So then.
Good. Okay.
And in the second, Prabhupada is saying in the Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's quote, Prabhupada mentioned that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying everybody should become guru. But that guru, Prabhupada also explains that it is Shiksha Guru, not Diksha Guru, because Diksha Guru takes the responsibility of giving transcendental knowledge and takes the responsibility of destroying our karma, whereas Shiksha Guru may not have those capabilities. He may, a spectrum, today I was hearing, a spectrum could be very large from Saraswati to the even realized soul can be also Shiksha Guru, but the spectrum is very big. But Diksha Guru has to have that qualification of taking our karma and giving transcendental knowledge. So this is actually referring to Shiksha Guru.
Okay. All right. Okay. Good. Yeah, please go ahead.
Even if we accept that yes, Prabhupada has told here that he's my grand disciple, even if we accept, but something later instruction Prabhupada gives that will supersede the previous instructions Prabhupada has given.
Yes.
So the latest instruction which he gave was that his 1100 July 9th letter.
Correct. But there in the July 9th directive, Prabhupada did not mention they cannot act as Diksha Gurus. Correct, no?
He is not told he cannot act as Diksha Guru.
So their argument is that only, that the July 9th letter was temporary. Because Prabhupada already said, in the presence of Guru, one must not become Guru, hence, on my behalf. That means, in his presence, they are Ritviks. After the Prabhupada's disappearance, they are all regular Gurus. That's their argument. Okay, so good, you have all summarized. Some few more points I can add. Actually, if you see, there are two questions which the GBC formed, question 3 and question 4, right? Question 3 was, in the absence of Srila Prabhupada, what is the procedure for first, second and sannyas initiations? And Satsvarup Maharaj actually read out that question. Of course, he put it in his own words. Our next question concerns initiations in the future, particularly at that time when you are no longer with us. We want to know how first and second initiation will be conducted. This was third question. Prabhupada responded, yes, I shall recommend some of you, after this is settled up, I shall recommend some of you to act as officiating Acharya. Tamal Krishna immediately asked, is that called Ritvik Acharya? Prabhupada said Ritvik, yes. Prabhupada did not say Ritvik Acharya. Prabhupada said Ritvik, yes. So question 3 and his response ended there. It was very clear to everybody, Prabhupada, for the future, when Prabhupada has disappeared, Prabhupada is going to appoint Ritvik or officiating Acharya to act on his, to conduct initiations. Okay? Because his question was, we want to know how first and second initiations would be conducted, particularly when you are no longer with us. So Prabhupada's response, I will recommend some of you to act as officiating Acharya or Ritvik. So this much is over. Question number 3, future after Prabhupada's time, how will initiations be conducted? Through officiating Acharya or Ritvik. Over. All right. Now next, the fourth question which came up was the relationship question. Satsvarup started reading out the fourth question. Then what is the relationship of that person who gives the initiation and to which Prabhupada said he is Guru? So this is the relationship question, right? And then the conversation goes on further, formality and all those kind of things. So if we see, there seems to be some amount of confusion, because what happened is here, When Satswarup is saying, then what is the relationship of that person who gives the initiation? That's the word he used. He did not say, then what is the relationship of the person who is initiating, who is officiating? He did not use the word officiating. He said, who gives the initiation? Because he was reading out the fourth question. So Prabhupada said, he is Guru. Who is Guru? The person who is initiating, not the person who is officiating. In Prabhupada's mind, it is very clear. There is one person who is initiating, another person who is officiating. His question was, who is initiating? So Prabhupada said, he is Guru. Satswarup, but in his mind, when he is saying who is initiating, he is thinking of the officiator. So he said, but he does it on your behalf. Because he got confused. Prabhupada said, yes, that is formality, because in my presence, one should not become Guru and all that. So Satswarup, so they may also be considered your disciples. Right? So this is Satswarup's confusion. Whose disciples are they? Your disciples or the officiator's disciples? So Prabhupada is responding, yes, they are disciples. Why consider? So Tamal Krishna Maharaj understood there is some confusion. Prabhupada is referring to the initiator. Satswarup Maharaj is referring to officiator. So he intervened. No, he is asking that these Ritvik Acharyas, they are officiating. See, he is very clear. Tamal Krishna Maharaj is clear. He is saying they are officiating. He is not saying they are initiating. Satswarup Maharaj is confused. But Tamal Krishna Maharaj is clear. No, he is asking that these Ritvik Acharyas, he is still sticking on to Ritvik Acharya. He is asking that these Ritvik Acharyas, they are officiating, giving Diksha. The people who they give Diksha to, whose disciple are they? So Prabhupada here says they are his disciple. Now which his is Prabhupada referring to? Because he said they are officiating. He has said whose disciple are they? So he is asking whose disciple are they? The person who is officiating or initiating? That's the question. And Prabhupada responded, they are his disciple. His disciple means, who is Prabhupada referring to as his? The officiator or the initiator? That's the question, right? So Tamal Krishna, they are his disciple. Then Prabhupada says, who is initiating? He is grand disciple. Satswarup, yes, that's clear. Then we have a question. They are immediately going on. He is grand disciple. Got it. What we wanted, we got it. Right? Whatever. Yeah, it's coming down. You can do one thing. You loosen this, put it in, pull it in a little. Yeah. Now it's okay. Thank you. So they got what they wanted. Yes, that's clear. And immediately Satswarup Maharaj is going on to the fifth question. Then we have a question concerning, but Prabhupada is still not finished. When I order, you become Guru, he becomes regular Guru, that's all. He becomes disciple of my disciple, that's it. Now we have to see, this may appear a little confusing. Now here Prabhupada said, who is initiating, he is grand disciple. Right? Does it make any sense? Who is initiating, he is grand disciple. Does it make sense? Doesn't make sense, right? I am initiating, I am giving you Diksha, I am grand disciple. Doesn't make sense, right? So that means who is initiating, he is not connected to his grand disciple. That means who is initiating must be connected to the previous words. What were the previous words? Previous words, they are his disciple. That means they are his disciple who is initiating. Clear? So that means Prabhupada is saying they are his disciple. Who is his referring to? Who is initiating. Understood? Not who is officiating, who is initiating. Correct? So then if you look at the conversation, and here, Satswarup is saying, yes, Tamal Krishna, that's clear. And then Tamal Krishna is repeating, they are his disciple. These are all not relevant to the conversation, right? The Tamal Krishna is saying they are his disciple. Satswarup saying yes, and all that.
They are his disciple who is initiating. Then again,
I'll come to that. I'm coming to that. So we'll remove all these interruptions by Tamal Krishna Maharaj and Satswarup Maharaj. Shall we remove that? Because it's not relevant. No. They are simply repeating what Prabhupada is saying, right? They are his disciple. Yes, that's clear, right? We'll remove those interruptions. Now let us see how it is. Tamal Krishna. No, he is asking that these Ritvik Acharyas, they are officiating, giving Diksha. The people who they give Diksha to, whose disciple are they? Prabhupada. They are his disciple who is initiating. He is grand disciple. When I order, you become Guru. He becomes regular Guru. That's all. He becomes disciple of my disciple. That's it. Now it is clear. Now you see, Prabhupada is very consistent. First, Satsaru Maharaj asked, they may be considered your disciple. Prabhupada said, yes. Why consider? And a few seconds later, to think that no, Prabhupada reversed that and said, no, they are the disciple of yours. Doesn't make sense, no? If you look at the original conversation, Prabhupada says, Satsarup said, but he does it on your behalf. Prabhupada said, yes. And then Satsarup said, so they may be considered your disciple? Prabhupada said, yes, they are disciples. Whose disciples? Prabhupada's disciples. And then immediately after that, to think, Prabhupada said, no, they are his disciple, who is the Ritvik. Doesn't make sense. No, Prabhupada is, it looks like Prabhupada is reversing what he said. No. If you go by this, then Prabhupada is being consistent with what Prabhupada said earlier. They are giving Diksha on your behalf. Prabhupada said, yes. They may be considered your disciples. Prabhupada said, yes. And here also Prabhupada is saying, they are the disciple of the person who is initiating, which is Prabhupada. So, throughout, Prabhupada is consistent. Prabhupada is not changing. Otherwise, what happens? Prabhupada, here, he does it on your behalf. Yes. They may be considered your disciples. Yes. And then, they are the disciple of yours. 2 times Prabhupada said, they are my disciple, and then they are your disciple. That means, it's not consistent. Whereas here, Prabhupada is being consistent with what he said right from the beginning. Clear? Agreed? Yes or no? Right? So, the key point here is, like all of you pointed out, when I order, you become Guru, he becomes regular Guru. And that order never came. What order came was July 9th order to become Ritviks. So, and the July 9th order is right in line with whatever Prabhupada said on May 28th. No confusion. Now, when it comes to Amarajnai Guru Haya, words actually, the background is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was on a South India tour, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Kurma Kshetra, which is in Andhra Pradesh. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there he stayed in a Kurma Brahmana's house. And after staying in his house for a few days, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued his South India tour. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was leaving, the Kurma Brahmana went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, I want to come along with you, I want to give up my family and I want to come with you. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no. You stay back. Amara Ajna Guru Haya. Yare dekho tare kaho Krishna Upadesh and tare ye desha. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no. On my order, whomever you meet, you preach Krishna consciousness and deliver them. So that is the context in which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said this. And then Prabhupada went on, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went on to say additional things, which is mentioned in 2 more verses following that. So Amarajnai Guru Haya verses appearing in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila chapter 4, verse number 128. And verse number 129, 130 are also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continuing to talk to the Kurma Brahmana on this very matter. So in the purport to the verse number 130, which is the second verse after the Guru Amarajna Guru Haya verse, Prabhupada says in the purport, one only has to follow the instruction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and instruct relatives and friends in the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So Diksha Guru, does he preach only to relatives and friends? So if you go by Amarajna Guru Haya verse and say that that's referring to Diksha Guru, then all the ISKCON Diksha Guru should be preaching and initiating only their relatives and friends. Correct? But that's not what the Diksha Gurus are doing. One has to learn humility and meekness at home. That means none of the Diksha Gurus should be sannyasis. They should be sitting at home, at their homes, and they should be preaching to their friends and relatives and giving Diksha to them. Following the instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and in that way one's life will be spiritually successful. And then Prabhupada says, one should not try to be an artificially advanced devotee thinking, I am a first class devotee. Such thinking should be avoided. It is best not to accept any disciples. So if Amarajna Guru Haya verse was referring to Diksha Guru, Prabhupada is contradicting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, become Diksha Guru. Prabhupada is saying, best not to take any disciples. So, Prabhupada is not contradicting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then Prabhupada goes on to say, one has to become purified at home by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and preaching the principles enunciated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thus one can become a spiritual master. What is this? Prabhupada first said, it is best not to accept any disciples. And then Prabhupada says, thus one can become a spiritual master. How can you become a spiritual master without accepting disciples? Can you become? Yes, you can become if you become a Shiksha Guru. So the whole Amarajna Guru Haya verse is not about Diksha, it is about Shiksha. And that is why you will see the translation to the verse 7:128, Amarajna Guru Haya verse. It begins by saying, instruct everyone in the principles of the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, something like that. So, if Amarajna Guru Haya verse was for Diksha Guru, then how it should have started? It should have said, initiate everyone. Correct? No, it doesn't say. It says instruct everyone. So instructing is what? It is Shiksha Guru. So, as all of you mentioned, Amarajna Guru Haya verse is all about Shiksha Guru, not about Diksha Guru. Okay? So, in the Amarajna Guru Haya verse, actually, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he is saying Amar Ajna Guru Haya, what is actually Amar Ajna? Is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order to everyone to become Guru? Actually, that's not the order. Prabhupada clarifies in one lecture. If we actually want to become Guru, there is necessity of many thousands of Gurus to teach this cheated public. But how to become Guru? That is, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Amar Ajna, by my order. Amar Ajna. What is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order? What is your order, sir? Guru Haya. No. Prabhupada says, Yare dekho tare kaho Krishna Upadesh. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said Amara Ajnai, what it means is Amara Ajnai, Yare dekho tare kaho Krishna Upadesh, tare desha Guru Haya. So you, Yare dekho tare kaho Krishna Upadesh, then you become Guru. You simply advise people to follow Krishna's instruction, then you become Guru. You understand? So, Amar Ajna is not Guru Haya. Amar Ajna is Yare Dekho Tare Kaho Krishna Upadesh. And if you do that, you're automatically a Shiksha Guru. Not that Amar Ajna, Guru Haya, Amar Ajna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is ordering, become Guru. That's not what Mahaprabhu ordered. Mahaprabhu ordered, Amar Ajna. What is your Ajna, sir? Yare Dekho Tare Kaho Krishna Upadesh. You understand? So, Amara Ajna is not to become Guru, it is to preach, instruct. So, Amara Ajna, stress on Amara Ajna is not to act as any type of Guru, but it is to instruct whomever you meet. That means you become a Vartma Pradarshaka Guru or a Shiksha Guru. And also, Amarajna means even to become a Shiksha Guru, you need an order from a higher authority. Without order, nobody can become Shiksha Guru, nobody can become Diksha Guru. Forget about Diksha Guru, you cannot even become a Shiksha Guru. That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said Amarajna to Kurma Brahmana. Amarajna Krishna Upadesh, Yare Dekho Tare Kaho Krishna Upadesh. So therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order was not a public order. He did not call everybody in the market and say, Amarajna, Guru Haya, all of you become Guru. No, he was instructing Kurma Brahmana specifically, and he told him, no, don't leave your home and all that. Remain at home to all your relatives and friends. You tell them about Krishna. In this way, you become a Shiksha Guru. That's the whole context. Not that Amarajna, Guru Haya, okay, all of us can become Diksha Guru. That's not the point. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, in one purport, Prabhupada says, one should take initiation from a bona fide spiritual master coming in the disciplic succession, who is authorized by his predecessor, spiritual master. This is called Diksha Vidhana. So what is Diksha Vidhana? What is the process of taking Diksha? One has to take initiation from a bona fide spiritual master. How do you identify he is a bona fide spiritual master? He must be authorized by his predecessor, spiritual master. So you cannot quote Amarajnai Guru Haya words and say Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered, therefore I can become Diksha Guru. No. Diksha Vidhana means you need to take a Diksha from a person who is authorized by his Guru, otherwise you cannot become Guru. In another lecture on the Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada says, a Guru can become Guru when he is ordered by his Guru. That's all. Otherwise, nobody can become Guru. So, what was the order? Like all of you mentioned, that came from Prabhupada. The order was the July 9th order to become Ritviks, not Diksha Gurus. Hare Krishna. So, that's about the May 28th conversation. If anybody has any doubts, still, you're free. Yes, please.
I have two questions. First is, if you open the document,
Yeah.
in the end it is saying that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Maya cannot do that. I understand the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He can become Guru, or one who understands his Guru's order, the same parampara, he can become Guru.
Yes.
And therefore, I shall select some.
Yes.
So the last line, I therefore I select some of you.
Select some of you to act as what? To act as Ritvik. Because in the beginning itself, Prabhupada said, yes, I shall recommend some of you to act as Ritvik, officiating Acharya, correct? So, Prabhupada is saying here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Amar Ajna Guru Haya. That means, without order of your Guru, you cannot act as anything. Therefore, I will order and you become Ritvik. Otherwise, even to act as a Ritvik without Prabhupada's order, you cannot do. That is why Prabhupada is again and again quoting Amar Ajna Guru Haya verse to say, Amar Ajna, that Ajna is necessary. Without Ajna, you cannot become Ritvik, you cannot become Shiksha Guru, you cannot become Diksha Guru. Is that clear? Yes. Before that, somebody else also. Yes.
So, if that term can be used for, can you first of all use that term Shiksha Guru for the senior Gurus?
Shiksha Gurus can be like Madhu Pandit Prabhu explained in the recent podcast. Shiksha Guru can be anybody ranging from that small girl, Saraswati, Shyam Sundar's daughter, where Prabhupada asked her, who is Supreme Personality of God? And she immediately said, Krishna is the Supreme Person, something like that, right? And then Prabhupada said, she is Guru. Saraswati, you ask her, who is God? She will tell Krishna is Supreme Personality of God. So she is also Guru. So she is also a Ritvik. She is also a Shiksha Guru. Shiksha Guru means simply repeating like a parrot whatever Prabhupada said. That is also Shiksha Guru. And then you have a Shiksha Guru who clears your doubts. If you have a doubt, you go to Saraswati and ask her, will she be able to tell small girl, 3-year-old girl, will she be able to clear your doubt? No, she cannot do. For that, you have to approach some other senior Vaishnava. He will guide you, he will explain to you, he will clear your doubt. He is also Shiksha Guru. Then there is a Shiksha Guru who can be a liberated soul who is a pure devotee. You have some doubt, you go and ask him, he clears your doubt. He is also a Shiksha Guru. So Shiksha Guru means it is a wide gamut. That is why Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela talks about all different kinds of Gurus. There Prabhupada says, Shiksha Guru is not different from the Diksha Guru. If he is also a pure devotee and liberated soul. Alright. But then in another place, Prabhupada says, Vartma Pradarshaka Guru may also be called a Shiksha Guru. So, like for instance, in the case of Suniti, she told Dhruva Maharaj, I have heard that big rishis are searching for Narayana in the forest, so you can also go and search. That much only she knew. So she became the Shiksha Guru or Vatma Pradarshaka Guru for Dhruva Maharaj. But Dhruva Maharaj Diksha Guru, she is not Dhruva Maharaj Diksha Guru. Dhruva Maharaj Diksha Guru is Narada Muni. We understand, no? So Shiksha Guru can be a range from somebody who is simply repeating like a parrot whatever he has heard from his Guru, to a self-realized soul who has taken Diksha from an authorized person and he has become a pure devotee by following sadhana bhakti. So up to that level, you can have Shiksha Gurus. So anybody who, like in the 11th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam also, there is a person who says, a spider, a pigeon, all these persons were my gurus, meaning they were my Shiksha gurus. So you can take Shiksha even from material nature, from animals. From their life, you can realize spiritual subject matter. So they are also acting as your Shiksha guru. You see? So definitely within the ISKCON system, there are many, many senior Vaishnavas who are able to throw more light upon Prabhupada's teachings from their own realizations. So sometimes we hear Madhu Pandit Prabhu talking about the soulful japa. They are his realizations. And we are also benefiting from that. And we are also seeing, yes, what Prabhu is saying is correct. It is matching what Prabhupada has said. So he is also a Shiksha Guru. So like this, senior Vaishnavas in the moment who are guiding us, who are helping us understand better with their own realizations, they are acting as our Shiksha Gurus. Is that okay?
Specifically, the question was the Acharyas and the Guru Sampradaya who were there. Is it wrong or is it okay to address them?
No, they are not Shiksha Gurus. They are previous Acharyas. They are Acharyas in the Parampara. We take instructions from Prabhupada only. He is our Diksha Guru. We cannot jump over Prabhupada to one of the previous Acharyas. We can read previous Acharyas' writings, but seeing them through the lens of what Prabhupada has taught us. You understand? So that's the way we have to look at it. If they were present personally here today, then we could have gone and taken Shiksha from the know-how. You understood? So that's how we treat. They are not, you can, the Guru of your Guru becomes a Parama Guru. He doesn't become your Shiksha Guru in that sense. There's a fine distinction.
Shiksha Guru is referred to as even somebody who is equal to Krishna, like Shiksha Guru ke Tejani Krishna Raso.
That's what. Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru both are not different from Krishna. That is referring to a Shiksha Guru who is on the liberated platform. So such a person is as good as the Krishna. He is also as good as Krishna. They are not different. But in another place, Prabhupada says even a Vatma Pradarshaka Guru can also be called a Shiksha Guru. That means Vatma Pradarshaka Guru need not be a liberated soul. If the Shiksha Guru is already a liberated soul, pure devotee, then he is also as good as Krishna. Similar to the Diksha Guru. That's what I said. Is that clear?
Meditation happens in ISKCON. They also say, I speak on behalf of Prabhupada and Guru Parampara. So it itself indicates that Prabhupada is the Diksha Guru.
No. They are saying I am accepting you on behalf of Prabhupada in a different sense than what we say. We say if the Ritvik is saying I am accepting you on behalf of Prabhupada, that means I am accepting you on behalf of Prabhupada as you being his disciple. Their thing is I am acting as a Diksha Guru on the order of Prabhupada's because they say this is Prabhupada's order. So on his order I have become Diksha Guru. So on his behalf, in that sense, I am accepting you as my disciple. I am accepting you as my disciple on the behalf of Prabhupada. You understand?
When we say, like, I am coming on behalf of India Heritage Foundation, so it means I am representing India Heritage Foundation, or I am coming on behalf of Shuklambar Prabhu.
Correct. That's our understanding when it comes to Ritvik system.
The meaning of behalf is this only. Behalf means only.
That's the literal meaning, but their meaning is different. I am accepting you as my disciple on behalf of Prabhupada. That's what they mean. Otherwise, why are they accepting worship from the disciple? Why are they saying that you have to offer everything to Krishna through me? All those questions come up, no? Guru Dakshina, why they have to take? And if you ask, are they telling, okay, if they tell, I am giving you Diksha on behalf of Prabhupada and you are Prabhupada's disciple, then it is okay. But they don't say that. I am accepting you as my disciple on Prabhupada's behalf. That is to show some humility, as if they are very humble and following Prabhupada and all that, and to give that sense of legitimacy to their unauthorized guru system.
also mean in all sense are the Prabhupada is taking care of all your sense?
No, that you see what Madhu Pandit Prabhu has said in his latest podcast. They in that what is that mediation meeting, this question was asked to both groups. To our group, who is taking all the sins, all the devotees who were present from our side had one answer, Prabhupada. Their side, they asked, they had a half-hour discussion. One person is telling, I am taking, we cannot burden Prabhupada with the sinful reactions of our disciples. That is one version. Another version, no, the Prabhupada is taking. And another person says, I don't know. So their answer ranges from I don't know to myself to Prabhupada. So they have no clear answer. So it's all hodgepodge there. They themselves don't know what is happening. That's the reality. Yes, you had one more question.
So, starting your line, yes, I shall recover some of you after this is settled up.
Yeah.
So, is there something like after this is settled up? What was that?
Meaning they were presenting one question after another. They went to Prabhupada saying, we have set of questions. We have the GBC has drawn up, so we are bringing it to you. So one question after another they were asking. So Prabhupada said, after this is settled up, meaning after this meeting is over, I'll recommend some of you to act as officiating Acharya. It's a simple thing. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhu, is there an example previously had that officiating Acharya is to initiate on isn't it technically like a
Well, that way if you see during Prabhupada's time, 1970 to 1977, Ritvik system was operating in ISKCON? Yes or no? So that you are not questioning. That example is also not there in Shastra or Parampara, no? Which Acharya ever, in his physical presence, had Ritviks initiating on his behalf, you tell me. Did Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur do? No, he did not do. Did Bhakti Vinod Thakur do? He did not do. Any of the Acharyas did they do? Did Narad Muni do? No. Brahma did he do? No. Nobody did. So, if a Ritvik system, which there is no precedence, nowhere in tradition, such a Ritvik system is there in the physical presence of a Guru, then why are you questioning that it is not there in precedence after his physical presence? How does it matter? Like that, Prabhupada said, did so many things which there was no precedence, which Acharya before Prabhupada said that you have to chant 16 rounds. Please tell me. Is there any precedence? The only precedence is Chaitanya Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur saying that also 64 rounds. He also did not say 16 rounds. So where is the precedence? Which Acharya told that you have to chant 16 rounds? So that you don't need any previous Acharya to tell you. That you are ready to accept. Right? Because it is very convenient. If you go to previous Acharya, then you have to chant 64 rounds. If you stick to Prabhupada, only 16. So don't question that. But when it comes to Ritvik system, you start questioning. Why? Then if you want to question Ritvik system, then you question 16 rounds also. Why only this one you are questioning? Correct or not? So we have to understand that there is principle, there is application. Principle cannot be violated, application can be changed according to time, place, circumstance. An Acharya has the authority to determine the application of the principles according to time, place, circumstance. So what does the Vayu Purana state, which Srila Prabhupada often quoted? Achinoti yaha shastrartham acharam sthapayanti chapi. So he said, Acharya is one, Vayu Purana states, Acharya is one who teaches the essence of the scriptures to his disciples and who establishes the standards of devotional service. So standards of devotional service are what? Adav Guru Ashrayam. First, you have to take shelter of a spiritual master and take Diksha from him. Bona fide spiritual master, you have to approach and take Diksha from him. This is the beginning. Second is what? You have to chant a minimum number of rounds of Hare Krishna mantra every day. Right? That is what the Shat Goswamis, it is said, Sankhya Purvaka Nama Gana Natibihi. Sankhya Purvaka Nama. Nama, chanting has to be done according to a fixed number. This is the principle. Alright? Adav Guru Ashram is a principle. You have to take Diksha from a bona fide Guru. This is a principle. Now application, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, you have to chant 64 rounds. Prabhupada said, you have to chant 16 rounds. Acharya has got the prerogative to decide according to time, place and circumstance how to apply that principle. Principle is Namagana Natibihi Sankhya Purvaka. You have to perform the Nama, you have to chant the holy name according to a certain Sankhya. How much Sankhya? That is left to the Acharya. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said 64, Prabhupada said 16, because both of them are Acharyas. Similarly, Adav Guru Ashram, you have to take Diksha from a bona fide Acharya. That's the principle. Now, how to take Diksha, how to give Diksha, that is the prerogative of the Acharya. For example, Narada Muni, he gave Diksha to Mrigari. How did he give to Mrigari? He was standing in the forest. You all know the story, right? Mrigari's story. If you have not, you can read it in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So what happened? Narada Muni was going to Prayag, right? He was going to Prayag. On the way, he was going through a forest and he came across a hunter, Mrigari, killing animals in half. So he spoke to him and he said, I have one request of you. What is that? Mrigari said, what is the request? You want some deer skin? You want any animal products? I'll give you. So Narada Muni said, no, my request is don't half kill the animals. If you want to kill them one shot. And you kill them fully. So Mrigari said, why are you making this kind of request? Because this is the way I have seen my father kill animals. So I have learned from him and I am doing that way. So Narada Muni said, it is going to create a big papa karma for you. Sinful activity. It is greatly sinful to half kill somebody and see him and take pleasure in seeing him die like this. So then Mrigari said, my God, what is this you are talking? Papa, Punya, what is this? I don't know all these things. Please instruct me. So Narada Muni said, yes, I will do it. But first, you have to break your bow. So Mrigari said, if I break my bow, but my bow is my only source of sustenance. If I break my bow, I don't know any other vocation. How will I maintain myself and my family? Narada Muni said, don't worry about that. You simply go ahead and break the bow. So Mrigari said, yes, if you are telling ready, he broke his bow. Immediately he became a disciple of Narada Muni. So how did Narada Muni give Diksha to Mrigari? By telling him to break the bow. What kind of Diksha system is this? He did not have a fire sacrifice, chant on the beads, and give him a mala and give him a new name. Nothing. He told, you break your bow, you are now my disciple. So you see, and so Narada Muni also gave Diksha to Dhruva Maharaj. Did he tell Dhruva Maharaj to break the bow? Arey, what is this? Narada Muni has got a new system of giving Diksha by breaking the bow. So Dhruva Maharaj also should tell no to break the bow. Why he did not tell him? So Diksha Guru will give Diksha. The process of giving Diksha is according to time, place and circumstance, the Diksha Guru can decide. So these are all individual cases. Narada Muni giving Diksha to Dhruva Maharaj, to Mrigari, these are all individuals. Now Prabhupada had to institute this principle of Adav Guru Ashrayam, that everybody has to take Diksha from a bona fide spiritual master. That principle Prabhupada had to institute in an organization, in an organizational way. So how to do that? Prabhupada said, through Ritviks, I will do this. That's all. So no principle is violated. Principle of Adav Guru Ashram, is it violated? No, it is not violated. How to take Diksha from a bona fide spiritual master? That's dependent upon each Acharya, how he wants to give Diksha. Narada Muni had his own way. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur had his own way. He would give Brahman Diksha at the very first initiation. He never differentiated between Harinam Diksha and Brahman Diksha. Prabhupada differentiated. So, if you say first initiation, second initiation, which Acharya has done? No Acharya has done before Prabhupada. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave a combined Brahman Diksha. Before Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who gave Brahman Diksha? Nobody gave. Everybody will give only Harinam Diksha. It was Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur who started giving Brahman Diksha along with Harinam Diksha. And Prabhupada separated both of them. Prabhupada said, I'll give you Harinam separately, I'll give you Brahman Diksha separately. So where is precedence in our Shastra or in tradition for this? That also there is no precedence. So how do we understand this then? The thing is, for the application of a principle, you don't depend on tradition, Shastra and all that. You depend on principle, you depend on Shastra and tradition for principle, understanding the principle. Principle is, one has to accept Diksha. That principle, is it getting violated? It is not getting violated. We are receiving Harinam and Brahman Diksha from Prabhupada. So we are taking Diksha, no? You understand? So for applications, you cannot go searching in the Shastra and tradition. Where is this one for this? Applications according to time, place and circumstance. Acharya has every right. Achinoti has Shastrartham. Acharani sthapayanti api. Achare sthapayanti api. So all the achara, that means all the applications are decided by the acharya. It is his right to decide upon it. Prabhupada used his right and he decided that he will have a Ritvik way of giving Diksha during his presence as well as after his presence. Simple. Does that answer your question? Yes. Good, good.
In the document, it says that he will be regular. Is a regular body for the Diksha or for the Diksha?
Okay. So there he is saying, yeah. So here you are referring to this, right? Am I correct?
Regular.
So Prabhupada is saying, when I order you become Guru, he becomes regular Guru. Regular Guru means you take the disciple as your disciple. Diksha Guru. So you become a Diksha Guru when I order, when Prabhupada orders. That means without the order of the predecessor Guru, nobody can become Diksha Guru. That's what Prabhupada is saying. Prabhupada is stating a principle here. If I order, you become Guru, then he becomes disciple of your disciple. If I am not ordered, he cannot be your disciple. Simple. No. Prabhupada said, when I order. So until Prabhupada orders, nobody can act as Diksha Guru. So Prabhupada never ordered. So they cannot become Diksha Guru.
If somebody argues that what was the necessity of Prabhupada started this conversation of telling the principle when the question was itself was, so the answer is like when what we're saying, he got confused, he started
Correct.
instead of officiating.
He is going on asking whose disciple are they, whose disciple are they, whose disciple are they. So Prabhupada said, they are my disciple. When you are going on asking whether they are your disciple or not, if I order you to become Guru, then only they become your disciple. Otherwise, they are my disciple. Right? If this relationship question 4 was not there, suppose it was not there. Suppose they had asked only question 3. How will initiations be conducted in the future when you are no longer with us? And Prabhupada said, Ritvik, over. Any doubt? It's very clear to everybody, right? The whole problem came because they came up with the unnecessary question number 4.
Question was, I think question was right, but that instead of saying officiating, he said initiating.
Correct. I am saying it was not required at all. When Prabhupada said officiating Acharya, Ritvik, it is clear, no? Officiate means you are officiating. I did not make you Diksha Guru. I did not make you initiating Guru. I made you officiator. So, yeah. That is why Satsarup was also clear. That's why he said they are considered your disciples. They are doing it on your behalf. All that Satsarup said, because he said, he remembered Prabhupada said Ritvik. But still, because that GBC had asked that question 4, has put that in that list of questions, therefore he put that question. Otherwise, it was already clear in his mind. But the way he put it, he used the initiating instead of officiating. right? Because they did not know when they framed those 5 questions that Prabhupada is going to use the word officiating, right? They did not know. So that's why they used the word initiating, and he read it out as it is. And that's created all the confusion. But no matter, even if you consider there is confusion, Prabhupada cleared all the confusion in July 9th letter. Prabhupada, in the July 9th letter, he not only ordered the devotees to become Ritviks, he also clarified the relationship question also amply in the July 9th order. No more confusion. Okay, na? So why get confused about it? Even if there was some confusion on May 28th, in the July 9th order, Prabhupada did not just appoint Ritviks, he also cleared up the relationship question also. 3 times he said in that letter, they are my disciples, they are my disciples, they are my disciples. Okay, na? So even if you say there is a confusion, Prabhupada cleared that on July 9th. Over. Yes, Mother. That is a totally different question. Now the question what you are asking is whether parampara ends with Prabhupada. Now to understand that you have to first ask the question, what is the meaning of parampara? What is the definition of parampara? What is the definition of parampara? So okay, now you take the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita in the 4th chapter, Prabhupada, Krishna talks about parampara. Evam parampara praptam imam rajashya vidu sakalene yogo nashta parantapa. Right? And Krishna, what does Krishna say there? Krishna says, this parampara has been lost. Therefore, I am repeating the whole knowledge to you. Correct now? That is where parampara is lost. Now in the purport to verse number 4.2, can somebody pull out purport verse 4.2? There, what does Prabhupada say? Does Prabhupada say that there is no physical acharya at present, therefore parampara has been lost, and therefore I am giving this knowledge to you so that the parampara is re-established. Is that what Prabhupada is saying? On the other hand, what Prabhupada is saying is, as soon as the original purpose was scattered by the motives of unscrupulous commentators, there arose the need to re-establish the disciplic succession. Prabhupada is not saying, as soon as the acharya, the physical acharya disappeared, there arose the need to re-establish disciplic succession. Prabhupada did not say that. Prabhupada is saying, as soon as original purpose was scattered, there arose the need to re-establish disciplic succession. 5,000 years ago, it was detected by the Lord himself that the disciplic succession was broken, and therefore he declared that the purpose of the Gita appeared to be the lost. So, disciplic succession stops. When does it stop? Not because some physical disappearance of an acharya. It stops when the purpose of the Bhagavad Gita is lost. In other words, when the real meaning of the Bhagavad Gita is distorted, then parampara is lost. Another interesting thing Prabhupada points out in a lecture. Prabhupada says, when Krishna spoke these words that the parampara is lost, at that time Vyasadeva was present or not? Vyasadeva was present. And is Vyasadeva an acharya in our parampara or not? He is an acharya. Then in Vyasadeva's presence, who is an acharya? How did parampara get lost? That means, and not only Vyasadeva, there are so many other acharyas also, big sannyasis and big rishis and sages at that time. Agastya Rishi, Valmiki Rishi, so many people were there, or whatever rishis and sages were there during Krishna's time. All of them were there, Pulastya and all these people were there. But still Krishna is saying parampara is lost. So that means acharya may be physically present, parampara can be lost. And then Prabhupada points out another thing in another lecture, I think. Prabhupada says, Krishna pointed out 3 people in the parampara. And Krishna said in the Adav, in the beginning, Vivasvan, Aham Adav Proktavan, I spoke it to Sun God. Vivasvan Manave Praha. Vivasvan spoke this knowledge to Manu, his son. And Manur Ikshwakave Abravit. Manu gave this knowledge to his son Ikshvaku. And Prabhupada says, Krishna gave only 3 names. And Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita to Vivswan at the beginning of creation, millions of years, billions of years ago. So that means up to the 28th millennium of the second Parardha of Brahma, only 3 acharyas. So does that mean Parampara is lost? Parampara was not lost. So until 5,000 years ago, there were only 3 acharyas and the Parampara was not lost. How do we understand this? So Prabhupada says this is because the disciplic conclusion was present. So therefore, the disciplic succession was going on. Now, when Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago, disciplic conclusion had got distorted. Therefore, Krishna re-established. So you see, it is not that after Ikshvaku, he was going on, there was one acharya after another coming. If that was the case, Krishna would have to list out so many people. But Krishna listed only 3 names. Prabhupada himself points this out in one lecture. So, in a physical absence of an acharya, Guru Parampara is continuing. In the physical presence of Vyasadeva, Guru Parampara is got stopped. Guru Parampara is lost. So how do you say Prabhupada is disappeared physically, therefore Parampara is lost? You cannot say that. Why? Because even today, you walk into any ISKCON temple, you can pick up the Bhagavad Gita written by Prabhupada and you have the disciple conclusion. And that is easily available. It's not that very difficult. And today English is the most widely spoken language in the world, yes or no? So therefore, anybody in the world can easily have access to the disciplic conclusion. Not only that, Prabhupada's works are translated into practically almost every language in the world. So even if you don't know English, you can pick up a language you can pick up a copy of Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita in the local regional language and the disciplic conclusion is available. So disciplic conclusion, it is easily available to anyone in the world today. Therefore, disciplic succession is continuing. The day they change Prabhupada's books and Prabhupada's original books are no more available in the market, then disciplic succession is broken. So, you understand that Guru Parampara is not broken by the physical absence of an Acharya. It is broken when the conclusion is lost. Is that clear? Okay. Anybody else? Anything else? Yes.
New 11 only were appointed, selected by Prabhupada. How to add more people to that?
How are more people added? So, if you look at the July 7th conversation, the July 7th is the conversation where Prabhupada listed out 9 out of the 11 names. And on July 9th, 2 more names got added, and that's how 11 names came out as Ritvix. July 7th, when that conversation starts by Tamal Krishna asking Prabhupada that we have been holding all the initiations because if you give initiation, you have to take the karma and your health is very bad. So therefore, we have been holding initiations, but the requests are piling up. The list of devotees waiting to take Diksha is piling up. So what should we do? Should we continue to hold the initiations or what should we do? Then Prabhupada responds immediately, you tell me the list of the sannyasis, I will choose. So Tamal Krishna Maharaj responds saying that we have already been doing that. Earlier the senior disciples were doing. They were initiating on your behalf. Shall we continue that? Prabhupada says, no, you tell me the list of names, I will choose. So Tamal Krishna Maharaj says, oh, Prabhupada is talking the new system. Otherwise, old system was already running. If temporarily Prabhupada wanted to continue, Prabhupada would have said, continue the old system. Could have said no. That's all that was needed because they had stopped the system which was already running. Prabhupada could have said, okay, continue till I disappear. Prabhupada could have said that, but Prabhupada did not do that. Prabhupada said, yes, bring all the names, I will choose. So Tamal Krishna Maharaj understood this is a new system, which Prabhupada had spoken on May 28th. So immediately he picked up, okay. And Prabhupada had said, Ritvik, officiating Acharya. So he said, okay. He started reading out the names and Prabhupada said, okay, he can do here. he can do in this part of the world, he can do in India, he can do in South America. Like this, Prabhupada started listing out the names. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj says, what about this person, what about that person? Prabhupada said, okay, add him also for this area. And then Prabhupada said, Hridayananda also we can add. And Tamal Krishna responds, oh yes, South America, we need him. So geographically, Prabhupada started listing who will be responsible for which area as Ritvik. And then at the end, Prabhupada said, so wherever it is required, at your discretion, you may decide. That means wherever, meaning geographically, if you need a Ritvik in some other area, you can decide. Who will decide? Not Tamal Krishna Maharaj. Prabhupada, don't think that Prabhupada gives that kind of power. You can decide at your discretion, meaning the GBC can decide. So Prabhupada gave that appointing of Ritviks, that power to the handed over to the GBC. And it's not a very important thing. It's a common sense thing. Because on one hand, they say to appoint Diksha Guru, the Prabhupada's order is not needed. Right? GBC has the power to appoint Diksha Guru, but Ritvik GBC has no power. If GBC has power to appoint Diksha Gurus, then what is appointing Ritvik? Ritvik is a very small thing compared to a Diksha Guru. So GBC has got power to appoint Diksha Guru, but GBC has no power to appoint Ritvik, is it? That's not a valid argument, no. Actually, appointing a Ritvik is a managerial thing, administrative thing, because according to the geographical area demand is there, you appoint a Ritvik for that person, or for that area. Ritvik is according to area that Prabhupada divided. So tomorrow if you find some area there is no Ritvik, we need a Ritvik here, GBC can decide. It's not like Diksha, no. Diksha is a completely different thing. So many things are involved in Diksha. You have to take the karma, you have to give Divya Jnana, you have to take it back to God. And Ritvik is none of those things. Ritvik is only on behalf of Prabhupada, you are connecting the disciple to Prabhupada by chanting on the beads. That's all. So that GBC can appoint, what's the big deal? Like GBC is appointing temple president also. Temple president, did Prabhupada say GBC has power to appoint a temple president? That is understood, no? You don't need a specific order from Prabhupada for that. Temple president is also representing Prabhupada only. Is temple president independent? No, he is also representative of Prabhupada for the purpose of administering that temple. So to appoint a temple president, who has to intervene? You cannot say, no, before 1977, whomever Prabhupada appointed as a temple president, only they can be temple president. After that, no more temple president. Foolish, no? So, like temple president is a representative of Prabhupada, Diksha Guru, the Ritvik is also a representative of Prabhupada for the purpose of giving Diksha on behalf of Prabhupada. So, GBC has power to appoint such people. What is the difficulty in understanding this? Yes.
When these 11 people were named, and Chanchalapati Prabhu always used to say, GBC is a collective intelligence. How come all these 11 eloped that letter and cheated and...
How they managed to...
even one person didn't say the truth.
Yeah.
Everybody following the same...
Yes.
How could it happen?
I'll come to that. But is the previous your question answered? Okay. So what happened was, 7 people went to Prabhupada with the 5 questions of the GBC. Okay. 18 GBCs were there. They said, you 7 people take this too. It's clear from that. I showed you that handwritten GBC minutes also. So these 7 people, when they came back, what is the minutes that they entered? All the 18 people together, they heard from the 7 people, and the 7 people told them, Prabhupada said, he is going to appoint some of us to initiate, and that Prabhupada will be the grand spiritual master. This is what the 7 people told the GBC, and the GBC recorded it like that.
Misunderstood what Prabhupada.
These 7 people presented it like this, that Prabhupada is going to be the grand spiritual master, because Prabhupada is a grand disciple. Whether they misunderstood or it was deliberately done, that's, I cannot answer that. But this is how this is what actually happened. Now, after that, the 18 people, they signed on the minutes. I have that copy. If you want, I can share it with you also. On that, 18 people have signed. After they signed, Satsaru Maharaj, because he was the secretary, I think, at that time of the GBC, he showed this to Jayadvaita Swami. Jayadvaita Swami was not a GBC member. I don't think he was he? I don't remember. Maybe he was, he wasn't, whatever. So Jayadvaita Swami told Satsaru Maharaj, see, you are saying that these people are going to become a regular guru after Prabhupada's time. This is a very big thing. Devotees will not accept. Why don't you go and take Prabhupada's signature on this? Because tomorrow otherwise everybody will contest. So Satsaru Maharaj thought, yes, what he's saying is right. He went to Tamal Krishna Maharaj. Because Tamal Krishna Maharaj was Prabhupada's secretary. And he told him, Jayadvaita Swami has told we should take Prabhupada's signature on this. What was Tamal Krishna Maharaj's response? Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, why? Not required. As far as I am concerned, it is fully abundantly clear to me. No need to take Prabhupada's signature. He sent him away. Satsaru Maharaj again asked him, no, let us take Prabhupada's signature. He said, no need. It is abundantly clear to me. No need. Abundantly clear to me that Prabhupada wanted them to become regular gurus. It is abundantly clear to me. No need to go to Prabhupada again. That's enough. He actually obstructed Satsaru Maharaj from going to Prabhupada and taking his signature on the minutes. If he had gone to Prabhupada with the minutes, history would have been different. But it didn't end there. After Prabhupada gave out the July 9th order, Guru Kripa Swami and Yashodanandan Swami and Bhagavan, three of them, went to Tamal Krishna Maharaj and told, how is this Ritvik system going to operate in the future? Who will appoint Ritviks in the future? Suppose some Ritvik falls down, what will happen? We want to ask Prabhupada all these questions. Why don't we go and ask? Tamal Krishna Maharaj responded, Prabhupada is not well. Besides, he is very busy. He doesn't have time for all this. So these are all not important things. Leave it. He did not allow anybody to go to Prabhupada with further questions. This is the history. All right?
But that letter was there.
Which letter? July 9th letter.
And
It was addressed to all temple presidents and GBCs. What the devotees at that time say is, Tamal Krishna Maharaj sent it to only these 11 people. No temple president got it, no other GBC got it.
these 11 people were supposedly to Ritviks, and these all 11 cheated, conspired
Yes,
together.
yes. Sudam Maharaj remembers. Of course, Sudam Maharaj is no more. He told this to another devotee. On November 13th, when did Prabhupada disappear? November 14th. On November 13th, Tamal Krishna Maharaj called him and he told him, we are having a meeting today. We are going to divide up the world. You have to come. So he was thinking, what is this meeting? He went. And there he announced, Tamal Krishna Maharaj announced, we are going to create zones all over the world where all of you can become gurus. So who wants to be a guru? So there was silence for some time. Then Rameshwar Swami raised his hand. I want to become. Then Satsarup raised his hand. Then others started raising their hand. Okay, now let us divide the world. Who will take which portion of the world and become guru? So Sudam Maharaj said, they asked him also and he said, Arey, what is this? They told him, Sudam Maharaj, you become guru for Japan. He said, what is this? Prabhupada has not even left the planet. You are talking like this. This is a great offense. You cannot do this. They didn't bother. They didn't listen to him and they went ahead dividing the world. So Sudam Maharaj said he understood what is going to happen. Next day, Prabhupada disappeared. Immediately after that, Sudam Maharaj left the movement. This is his remembrance. Now, how much you want to attach importance to this or not, is up to you. But this is the way, this one. Another devotee remembers.
When Tamal Krishna Maharaj was saying, who wants to become guru, that a statement was coming with the understanding of this conversation or with the misunderstanding of this?
If it was understanding of that conversation, they should have waited till Prabhupada disappeared. Another devotee remembers that when after Prabhupada's disappearance, all these 11 people again met and they discussed. Satsvarup Maharaj said that we have to be very, very careful that all of us tell the same story about how we became gurus. If even one person says another thing, devotees are very sharp, they'll figure out we are making up a story. So then Satsvarup Maharaj and others discussed and came up with what they will tell to the whole world. And then each of the 11 people was made to repeat 2 times what story they are going to tell, and each one had to repeat so that everyone clearly understood what they are going to tell. There is no confusion. I don't remember exactly who, it is there in 11 Naked Emperors. That reference is also there. I'm not exactly recalling, but it is there. So that, that's the answer to your question. Yes, Mataji.
But then Prabhu, somebody can say that in the moment of Prabhupada, Prabhupada himself is shooting these 11 and these 11 are cheating.
That way, those 11 had been cheating from 1967, trying to become guru and displace Prabhupada. That has been going on. It's not new thing. But still, Prabhupada was very magnanimous. Prabhupada was not rejecting them. Prabhupada was not throwing them out of the movement. Prabhupada was still keeping them. 1967, Kirtanananda wanted to become Acharya. If you want, I'll give you the whole history. 1967, Kirtanananda declared, 67, Prabhupada had come to India to recuperate. So Kirtanananda came to US after taking sannyas from Prabhupada. He took sannyas from Prabhupada on Janmashtami day in Vrindavan, and he came back to New York and he told all the devotees there, and he took in writing from Prabhupada certificate that Prabhupada had given him sannyas. And he went back to New York temple and told the devotees, see, Prabhupada is become old, he is going to die soon, he is going to leave his body in Vrindavan, he is not going to come back to the US. So Prabhupada has made me a sannyasi and he has made me the Acharya of ISKCON. So now all of you have to follow what I say. He did that in 1967. 1968, Achyutananda wrote to Prabhupada saying that people in India are asking me for initiation, shall I start giving Diksha? Right? 1970, Brahmananda and Gargamuni wanted to remove Prabhupada and bring in Ban Maharaj as the Acharya of ISKCON. All right? 1972, Tamal Krishna Maharaj and Shyam Sundar, they were very upset that Prabhupada has become old, he's stubborn, he's senile, and we know better than Prabhupada. 1973, who was it in 1973? Gaur Sundar Prabhu started giving Diksha, and after that he fell down. He sold the Hawaii temple and took the money and went away. All right. 1974, Balimardan declared himself to be the incarnation of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and he wanted to take over the movement. All right. 1975, Prabhupada said Tamal Krishna Maharaj is praying for the old man to die so that he can become the next Acharya. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj went to Karandara and told him that let Prabhupada write books, I'll become the Acharya of ISKCON, you support me. All right. Amayatma Prabhu also talks about this. 1975, Kirtanananda and Hansaduta in their respective zones. Kirtanananda was in New Vrindavan, Hansaduta was in Germany. Both of them had devotees in their temples put up their pictures on the altar and had Guru Puja for themselves. Okay. 1976, who was it in 1976? 1976, Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he created a whole division in ISKCON. He had that group of 200 brahmacharis and 10 sannyasis with him. And with that, he passed a resolution, he made the GBC pass a resolution, no grihastha can be part of any temple. So that all the temple presidents in ISKCON would be removed. He would put the brahmacharis and the sannyasis in the temples and he would become the Acharya of ISKCON. Another thing, sorry, I forgot. 1972, Hansaduta Maharaj, he and other 8 GBCs conspired and they said, let us centralize all the funds of ISKCON so that every temple will have to come to us for funds. So we will become the controllers, we will become the super boss in ISKCON. And they did it without informing Prabhupada. So Prabhupada, that's when Prabhupada suspended the GBC. 1976, Tamal Krishna Maharaj did this. And when Prabhupada chastised Tamal Krishna Maharaj for doing this, for making a resolution to send all the people to send all the grihasthas out of ISKCON, Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, I have more men than you have. He threatened Prabhupada. And because of that, Prabhupada exiled him. He said, you go to China. 1977, Hansuduta was again trying to give Diksha. And Prabhupada said, he is a rascal guru. Oh yeah. Now those 11 people only Prabhupada made into Ritviks. So already before that itself so much ho gaya na. If Prabhupada did not make them Ritviks, after his time, they would have anyway jumped in and become Acharyas. They would have murdered him. They murdered Sulochan, they would have murdered him also. They were not beyond all this. So Prabhupada's, primarily Prabhupada's, Prabhupada's view was, somehow I have to engage them in Krishna's service. I should not, I should not reject them. If Prabhupada rejects them, then they are forever condemned. Eternally condemned. Eternally, they have no chance of going back to Godhead. So Prabhupada never rejected anyone. So Prabhupada's formula was, they have a desire for position, power, puja, pratishtha. So how to satisfy it, at the same time keep them in Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada said, you become Ritvik. You cannot become Guru, but you can become representative of the Guru. So Prabhupada gave that position so that their desire for position will be fulfilled and they will remain within the movement. But still they went ahead and declared themselves as Acharya. So if Prabhupada had not made them Ritviks, how much they would have rebelled? It's obvious to all of us, right? So Prabhupada tried. Prabhupada tried by making them Ritviks to retain them, but they wouldn't. They still wanted to become, they wanted nothing less than the position of Diksha Guru. That's not Prabhupada's fault. It is their fault. Mil gaya answer? Sorry, I downloaded all that to you. Whatever I said about whatever happened in the different years, if you read the books, 11 Naked Emperors, Betrayal of the Spirit, these two books you read, you'll get an amply clear picture. And even Ravindra Swarup Prabhu talks about this. In ISKCON Desire Tree, if you go, you can search. There are 4 audio files saying the hidden history of ISKCON, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. He speaks about some of these things, Ravindra Swarup Prabhu also. If you want to know about this more, read these 2 books and hear this, Ravindra Swarup Prabhu's audio. It will all the history is there for you. These are all undisputed things. Okay? Yes.
Actually, in the conversation, Prabhupada is saying, I will order.
At the end of the meeting, Prabhupada himself brings up and he says, therefore, I shall select some of you. Right? Are you referring to this portion? Yeah, so Prabhupada is saying, Amar Ajna Guru Haya, meaning without order, nobody can act in any capacity in a spiritual field. Therefore, I shall select some of you to act as Ritvik. Because even to become a Ritvik, you need an order from the Guru.
There above also, then you actually become Guru.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is formality. Because in my presence, one should not, on my behalf, on my order.
Yeah.
Be actually Guru,
but by my order. That means without my order, you cannot be Guru. If I order, when I order, then you become Guru. Until then, you cannot become Guru. So where is that order? Not there.
Teacher, is Prabhupada going to order?
That Prabhupada is independent. He can order anyone if he wants to. That's up to him, no? That is not in our jurisdiction. As of now, Prabhupada has given this order and Prabhupada has said within this institution of ISKCON, this is how it will happen. We have to follow it. Yes, Mother.
So with this knowledge, ISKCON devotees who have firm faith in their Guru Maharaj, why do they still offer Guru Puja to Srila Prabhupada?
Because their GBC has ordered like that. Their GBC has said their Guru cannot direct the disciple about his service without without taking the consent of the temple president. The Guru cannot decide on the, he cannot directly talk to the disciple without taking the consent of the temple president. Similarly, the disciple cannot worship the Guru. Disciple cannot offer Vyas Puja to the Guru. In the temple hall, only Prabhupada's Vyas Puja, Guru Puja and Vyas Puja will be conducted. All this GBC has put restrictions on their Gurus. So, they cannot help it. So, the question is Guru superior or inferior to the GBC? Can a Guru, can he be ordered by a managerial body? Can a Guru be regulated by a managerial body? Where is the precedence for this? Does Shastra say that a Diksha Guru can be regulated, restricted, constrained by a managerial body of a spiritual organization? Where is the precedence for this? Has any other Acharya instituted this? You put back the same questions they asked to us back to them, they will have no answer. They'll get stuck. Then they will tell what answer they give is. I have asked on multiple occasions, I have asked this question. Where is Shastra? Where is precedent for this? Their answer, is what? GBC was appointed by Prabhupada as the ultimate managing authority, so they have all powers to decide this. So, GBC is beyond Shastra. But Prabhupada, if he orders Ritvik system, we need Shastra Pramana from that. What is this logic? Yes, Mataji. Well, Prabhupada says that there are many gaps in our Guru Parampara. You said after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so many people, so many Acharyas are there. In between, there are gaps of 100 years and 200 years also, some of the Acharyas. So I think from, who was it, Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur to Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, there was a gap of 100 years. There was, before that also, somewhere there is a gap of 200 years. From Vyasadeva to Madhvacharya, gap of 5,000 years almost, 4,000 years approximately. So, in our parampara itself, there are many gaps. And as Krishna himself says, from the time he gave the knowledge originally to Vyasadeva, there is a gap of millions of years. So, it's not that unless there is a physical living Acharya, movement will not spread. There is nothing like that. There is no law like that. There is no, you will not find any such proof in the history, Shastra, nothing is there like that. So as Prabhupada said, Guru Parampara continues as long as the conclusion of the Guru Parampara is available easily to all the common men. Like I gave the example, one of the Acharyas in our Guru Parampara, Vyasadeva, was physically present and Krishna said, Parampara was lost. So Acharya's physical presence is not the deciding factor whether Parampara is continuing or not. What is deciding factor is whether the disciplic conclusion is commonly available for all to take advantage of. So as long as Prabhupada's books are there, disciplic conclusion is available, Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, you are not spirit, you are a spirit soul, you are not the body, you are eternally servant of Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. All these conclusions are available. So Parampara is continuing. Movement will spread. Simple. Even during Prabhupada's physical presence. Maximum amount of expansion of the movement happened how? Through his books. Personally, how many places he went? How many lectures he gave? He gave almost 5,000, 6,000 hours of lecture and almost 3,000, 4,000 hours of room conversations. That much he did. But it's not that everywhere, only by hearing in his physical presence, somebody heard him, they became devotees. Is that the way the movement expanded? That's not the way. Many of the disciples who got initiated never met physically Prabhupada in their life. So movement spread even during Prabhupada's time without the necessity of his physical presence. This is the reality. Is it not? That's the reality. So physical living Guru is, I mean, there is no such concept of a living guru in the entire Shastras. This is the reality. Living guru is a invented term after 1978. Previous to 1978, the term living guru never existed. Honestly, it did not exist. Instance where one devotee in a lecture, after a lecture, asked Prabhupada, doesn't one need a living guru? Prabhupada's immediate response was, Guru does not mean living. Guru is a principle. Finished. So this concept called living guru is a newly invented term after 1978. Previous to 1978, it did not exist, so we don't have to give importance to it. Is that okay, Mataji? Anybody else? Anything else? Shall we close? Already late, 9 o'clock. Sorry, I exceeded the time. Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Shri Radha Gopinath ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari.